Call now to join us. 503-250-1080 or 1-800-727-5955. Rick Emerson, only from Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Indeed, it's 503-250-1080 in Portland or 1-800-727-5955. How great is this? Listen to this. Rick, I'm 14. I dread school because I have to miss your show. Well, that's a good reason to dread school. You should also dread school because they're simply filling your brain full of mindless garbage and breaking your will and turning you into a slave of the corporate state, Chris. But, you know, but also dreading it because of the show. That's fun, too. I can listen today because it's Teacher Planning Day. Don't you love that? Man, are there any sweeter words? Teacher Workshop Day, also Snow Day. Teacher Workshop Day you don't have to make up, though. That's the thing. They don't take that out of your ass at the end of the year. I always listen when I can, and listen to this. I even fake sick to hear it. Now, regrettably, he spells hear it H-E-R-E. So, you probably shouldn't be skipping that much school. You might want to cut back by like a third the number of days you're skipping. But, you know, I try to spread the word, but for some reason the kids aren't here. Kids aren't into talk radio these days. He's been talking like the kids. For some reason, Rick, the kids aren't into talk radio these days, which I can't understand. Sincerely, Chris. Excellent. Well, Chris, look at it this way. Just by dint of being a talk radio listener, you're smarter than they are, and someday they'll be shining your shoes, okay? I know you might not be able to see it now, because you're what, 14? Yeah, 14 and cutting class to listen to talk radio. You may be a social butterfly. I'm guessing you're not. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. I was as geeky as they come. Still am. Still completely geeky. Look around, you know, Tim, Matt, we're all geeks here, Chris. But someday, my friend, you'll be part of a cabal that runs the world, and all the people who don't talk to you now, they'll be fetching limos for you, you know. So you just keep listening. Learn to spell though, because that reflects badly on you. But thank you for listening. All right, that's Chris. It's seriously, I'll say this right now. I'm not telling you to go to school. Lord knows I wouldn't. But I'm just saying you got to learn correct spelling and grammar. It makes you look like a tool otherwise. People judge you by the words you use. The words you use tell people about your background, your education, even your intelligence.
I wonder if anybody else got that.
Well, it's been running. They've been running that same commercial with the same copy for like... They were running it when I was in...
for stress and anxiety?
They were running that copy when I was in Spokane, and that was 13 years ago. And they've been running that same commercial with the same copy about learning learning to speak better. All right, anyway. What are we doing? Okay, we're going to get Terry into... This is a great call. And Terry here is talking about something that I actually was going to talk about anyway. So in just a moment, we're going to get Terry in Portland. Later on, we got CNN radio correspondent Jim Roop on the Oscars. This, however, is Tim Riley in the KFTK newsroom. Thanks.
And now, it's not just news. It's News with Tim Riley. Live from the newsroom of Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
A Texas minister is compiling a list of all the porn store customers in his town before contacting them and sending them to attend church. Pastor Jim Norwood of the Oak Ridge Family Center says he photographs customers' cars outside the XXX store in Kennedale, Texas, and sends them a picture with a note. The note, which includes a timetable of church services and classes on sex addiction, reads, "Observed you in the neighborhood. Don't you think you're aware that there's a church in the area? Please stop by next time. We'd love to have you visit."
And I wish somebody would do that with... I mean, it's like if they could just, flag somebody as a constant porn, then maybe you could get a discount or something, All the porn I consume, no one gives me a discount. Well, Autumn gives us free stuff occasionally. But I'm just saying, some sort of a frequent porn viewer discount or some sort of a plan where you get something off after a while.
The government has proposed a $755,000 fine against Clear Channel for a sexually explicit radio show that aired on 4 stations. During an interview with performers of Puppetry for the Penis, who wore capes and nothing else, one of the actors exposed himself. The FCC said the station should have expected such a display and could have occurred and should have taken steps to prevent it. Imagine that.
What show was it?
It's Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh, yeah, that's that guy out of Florida. They weren't nude here because Fisher told us we couldn't do it. Fisher Broadcasting, which is a fine company, but not tremendously liberal on some issues.
We saw them nude later, though.
Yeah, no, they flat out told when the Puppetry the Penis guys were here, because they'd been on KNRK, like that morning, I think, which we were not owned by Entercom yet. And KNRK full on had them waving their genitals around, which is good. But like Fisher flat out told us no. Well, can I just no? What if they just no? And they just didn't give us any leeway at all there.
They don't even let us shoot guns. Remember the gun fest?
No, they don't. Everybody keeps asking when we're going to do the Tim Riley Gun Fest again, and there's post 3,000 people dying in a fiery inferno in New York. There does seem to be an increased reticence towards letting us go and shoot automatic weapons off in the desert. But what are you going to do?
Barbara Streisand's husband, actor James Brolin, tells Access Hollywood she is reading a script for a possible role in Meet the Fockers, Fockers, a sequel to the 2000 hit Meet the Parents. Publicist says nothing has been decided about the part. A Malaysian man was shaken and scalded after his mobile phone exploded beside him while he was sleeping. He said he was recharging the cell phone, placed it on the bed near him when he took a nap. 3 hours later, he was jarred awake by what he described as a small explosion. The explosion scalded my buttocks, and there were burn marks on the mattress and the wall. At first, I was confused about what had exploded. Then I realized my mobile phone had been shattered to pieces. He received treatment for the injury at a hospital and has filed a police report concerning the incident. Next news, when it happens. I'm Tim Riley.
All right, we're going to get Terry here, but I got to read this. Rick, did you see that great clip of Joe Lieberman on CNN, and Wolf Blitzer asked something like, do you really have a chance? And then Joe Lieberman said, quote, keep in mind we're not making this up, by the way. Joe Lieberman told Wolf Blitzer, quote, things are going great. The Joe-mentum is just starting to kick in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, damn, I love this country. All right, let's welcome to the Rick Emerson Show a full-time listener in Portland, Terry. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Ray?
What you got, brother?
Well, I was down over at Union Pacific.
Yes.
And across this EMP trailer said, F-U Matt.
No.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer, like what kind of a trailer was it?
It's a 53-foot container that's stuck on a chassis.
Uh-huh.
And they blotted out the F word, but you knew what it said.
But it clearly was F-U Matt.
Uh-huh.
That's genius. That's what the people are this is like that movie, Turk 182. The people are taking this to the streets because, I don't know if you heard us say this yesterday, but if you pick up the current issue of the Portland Tribune, on page D5, there's an editorial cartoon, they always have, and the editorial cartoonist slipped in an F-Matt. There's a lot of people in the cartoon, and over on the left, the guy in the further leftmost corner, whatever, over on the left, it says there's a guy wearing a shirt that says F-Matt, and now you've seen one on a trailer.
Uh-huh.
How great is that? That's the best.
And I don't even know where this trailer has been. I don't know who has dealt with it or anything. All I know is it's probably gone cross-country and advertising. F-Matt.
It's so brilliant. It's too bad that, I don't know, it's probably not still there. It's too bad we couldn't get a picture of it or something. I have some wall. We should have some gigantic gallery, like an F-Matt gallery, a wall of F-Mats.
Uh-huh.
I'm writing that down. Okay, so, and that was at the...
UP, which is Union Pacific on Interstate, and it's sitting there right now. And if you want to send off one of your interns to go take a picture of it,
excellent. We may in fact do that. We had to start a whole gallery of F-Matt things. I'd be a big fan of that. Excellent, brother. Will you spread the word? Thank you for tipping us off to that.
Definitely.
All right.
Actually, there's quite a few people that work at the same company that I do that do listen to you in the afternoon.
Right on. Will you spread the word? Thank you for spreading the word in the past. Do it in the future. You call us anytime.
All right.
All right, there you go. That's Terry in Portland. Well done. Well done, whoever wrote that. You know what it is like? This is like I was driving along on Sunday. Laura and I are driving, this car goes by me, and it's got on the bumper. It wasn't like a bumper sticker, but a guy had drawn it with, like, orange, not chalk, but, like orange fluorescent sticker or some, marker. And it said, is it Flash Friday yet? And you see kind of that stuff, the sort of guerrilla advertising. But so that makes two. That's two of them inside of 1 week. We got the F-Matt and the Tribune, which is just completely great. And then we got this Terry guy seen it on the... We got a whole thing. In fact, because we've got the whole closet full of stuff up front, not just the sea monkeys, which were created by a Nazi. We've got all the Star Trek Shadows of the not Shadows of the Empire. We got the Star Trek Klingon Honor Guard. We got a whole case full of books from the Onion. Some of you old school listeners remember back when we had the Onion news desk with Doyle Redland. They sent us a whole case of books, like the Onion Presents Our Dumb Century and the whatever. News from the 10th Circle or whatever that is. We got a whole crate of books from the Onion there. We had to do like a weekly. How would we do that? We get something like the most creative placement of an FMAT. But it's like but I think we'd have to see it or see evidence of it. Like we'd either have to witness it, like we'd have to see it in the place, or we would have to like see a picture of it or something. If we saw an FMAT placed somewhere, like I don't know where people would put it. Like for example, like this one. I mean, not everybody is the editorial cartoonist for the Portland Tribune, granted. But there's this business. This guy has the FMAT of the Tribune this week. Another guy sees it on a trailer somewhere, where it's viewed by scores of people. I mean, I don't know where else it would go. I mean, I'm not telling you. I'm not trying to encourage that that you deface anything. That would, of course, be wrong, and in no way.
Don't make a banner and hang it from an overpass on I-5.
No, in no way do I want to endorse that you place this, anywhere where it might be considered to be an eyesore. I'm not telling you to put it on any sort of a fixed, permanent surface. Something I can't tell you to do. It's not a thing I'm advocating. I will not come to bail you out, by the way. And don't call us from jail. Because you're busy taking boric acid and putting it onto like the side of the Max or something. That's not going to or what do they call it in New York? Scratchiti. You're busy like sandblasting it onto a TriMet window. That's not a thing we're going to come get you out of the Who Scout for. So we'll do that. What is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, right? Okay, Tuesday. So we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll tell you what. We'll start it today, right now. 1:14 on Tuesday. We're going to start it. What we'll do is every Friday. We'll start it this Friday. And we'll see what kind of response we get. Each week, you let us know either by somebody's got to see it. Either we've got to see it or it's got to be photographed or captured. However it is that it happens. And we've got to see it. We've got to see evidence of it. But the best placement, somewhere where the public, hears it or sees it, the best placement of an FMAT each week, we'll go ahead and kick swag your way on Friday. So, you have all week to sort of do it, submit it to us, get it in, submit the evidence, and then on Friday.
We've got some good swag, too. I mean,
we got a whole closet full of stuff we've never given away. Well, I got a bunch of Plantronics headsets, too.
So we've got CD Game Exchange gift certificates.
That's right. That's right.
We've got a bunch of good stuff that we could give out if somebody's creative.
Yeah, we got $50 gift certificates to CD Game Exchange. We got the Klingon Honor Guard game. We've got the Onion books. We've got cell phone and home phone headsets from Plantronics, including the CS50, the wireless model, because life takes both hands. Plantronics.com. We got all that stuff. So yeah. So we'll start that right now. Go forth and do likewise. We'll do that. Best placement of an FMAT. And again, you don't have to wait till you submit it whenever it's done. Whenever it's out there, you submit it to us however you want to submit it to us. And then on Friday, we will review them all and we will pick a winner. We'll post them on the website. We'll do a gallery. We'll do an FMAT gallery at rickemerson.com. Okay. That is all you know and all you need know. The lesson starts today. In Portland, Roger is a first-time caller. Roger, you're on Hot Talk 1080 KFTK. What's up?
Hey, bud, I'll tell you. Your chat has reminded me, probably a year
Call
ago.
now to join us, 503-250-1080 or 1-800-727-5955. Rick Emerson, only from Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Would you like to know the list, just the depth and breadth of things that I haven't gotten to yet? We've got Clyde Lewis coming up this hour with News at Ground Zero. We have... It's not even today's top 5. We have yesterday's top 5 to get to. We haven't talked about Dennis Miller. I mean, not that there's really much point since the show is so dreadfully, abysmally awful that not like anybody really, not like it's my job to point the quality stick. Seeing as how we can't even pronounce the names of cities that are 3 miles away correctly. But anyway, that show is so terrible. It's going to be gone within 6 months. So we'll talk about it later. But we've got all that coming up. We're going to go back to the phones here in just a moment. It's the Rick Emerson Show. We're here with Sarah Dillon, F. Matt Peterson, Tim Riley in the KOTK newsroom. Our good friend Therese, who was one of the candidates to have the producer job a while back. And then you ended up working on Good Day Oregon, right?
No, I worked there before. I worked there when I first moved to Portland.
Here's the reason I know this, and we'll continue the How Chicks Think segment here in just a moment. But the reason we know this is because we had mentioned, because you had called yesterday to lord over your date with Matt over the rest of us, but this guy Daryl. Our good friend Daryl had dropped off a tape of you, actually, on Good Day Oregon, because you'd done some story about speed dating.
He was my photographer, and he's a wonderful person.
Yeah, and it's like they put you just into the smallest top they could possibly
find. It was
find.
a dress.
Yeah. It was, I mean, clearly meant for someone.
I could wear it tomorrow.
So in just a moment, we're going to go back to the phones. We'll continue the How Chicks Think segment. The question, this guy talking about his wife of 23 years passed away right before Thanksgiving. The question is, can he do her friend now that she's dead? Which is exactly the sort of no-holds-barred discussion that you can expect here from the Rick Emerson Show. We're back to that, plus the top 5 coming up this hour. Also, Clyde Lewis with news at Ground Zero. This, however, is your friend of mine, Tim Riley, in the KTK Newsroom.
It's not just news. It's news with Tim Riley. Live from the newsroom of Hot Talk 1080 KOTK.
Kentucky Fried Fish hits Vietnam. That bird flu epidemic spreading through Asia has claimed its first casualty, the C in KFC. Now, this is only in Asia, mind you. The Golden Chicken chain has been forced to keep almost all of its outlets in Vietnam closed after illness killed 6 people in the country. It's kind of like a mad chicken disease. Now, customers are shying away from its normal fare and have switched to an all-fish menu. The only way to return to the usual menu, KFC said, would be to start importing frozen chickens from the U.S. Now, 12,500 restaurants worldwide, more than 3,000 are in Asia, 3rd in Japan, 900 in China and Hong Kong, and another 300 or so in Thailand and Malaysia. KFC's 9 outlets in Vietnam were closed anyway for the Chinese New Year, but they'll likely be shut down till January 31st. Paris Hilton is revealing more of herself in a new book. People magazine says the 22-year-old Hilton hotel heiress is currently shopping for a publisher for autobiography.
You remember when you used to actually have to live an entire life before you had an autobiography? It's like Sarah and I were watching VH1 or something the other day. There was like a Britney Spears. Was it her that had it behind the music? Was some Britney Spears? It's same thing with Alanis Morissette, man. She was putting out like her 2nd American album, and they had her career has been filled with ups and downs and the triumphs, and it's like she was like 24 or something. I mean, you used to actually have to, accomplish things before you started penning your memoirs. Not so much anymore.
Well, anyway, it's called Tongue and Chic, Confessions of an Heiress. The book is expected to fetch about $1 million. Hilton has already reached out to fashion writer Mary Ginsburg for help on the project. Chapters on how to be an heiress will be accompanied by an array of pictures taken by Paris's favorite photographer.
Chapters on how to be an heiress. How about chapters on how to be a vacuous whore that everyone detests? How about that? How to be a skeezy ass hoe that everyone would like to see set on fire and kicked down a hill.
Well, Paris is also developing a line of clothing and a hip-hop album.
She's neat. Are you serious? Hip-hop?
This is the Achilles heel. Look, here's the difference between myself and Paris Hilton. One of perhaps a few. But here's the thing. When we do the Tim Riley Factor, or as the Oregonian refers to it, the Time Riley Factor, when we perform those songs, I'm under no illusion that they're any good. I'm under no illusion that they're decent, that they should be heard by anybody other than my family, who's legally obligated to like them. But the thing is, you can tell these people just cannot resist the hip-hop album or the debut. Because who else there's somebody else doing one, isn't it? Who else is releasing a solo album? Nicole Richie's doing one, and there's somebody else. Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, and right there. No, I got nothing. But that's always the undoing of all of these people, is they always do the Shatner. And they never learn that only Shatner can do that. Shatner is the alpha and the omega. He is the beginning and the end of the celebrity records. He's the only person that can pull it off effectively. Everybody else, man, it just becomes like a cudgel that they're going to beat you with for the rest of your life. So, it might as well be Paris Hilton.
Next news when it happens. I'm Tim Riley.
Excellent. 503-250-1080 in Portland. Rick, you have a digital camera there, right? Let's see a picture or two of this fine little thing in the studio. A little nudity would be nice, but it's not absolutely necessary. And that's Kevin in the couve. Yeah, I'll see what we can do.
No, there isn't a digital camera here actually today.
Why?
Because the only one that we ever use is mine, and mine's at home.
What happened to don't we have a promotions department?
No. we
never mind.
Sort of borrow JJ's promotion department from time to time, but that doesn't really happen anymore.
Well, okay. Maybe
See,
I'll just...
I could get a job as your promotions person.
But see, here's the thing. It's like I saw the stuff you were doing on Good Day Oregon, and I know that, like, you actually expect a livable wage for that, and it's just not going to happen here, sister.
No.
So, anyway. Our advice for that is always just to go be a stripper, but looking for the livable wage. That's always...
If men weren't so gross and drooly and hairy at those places, then women would find it a little more tolerable.
Man, that's an unfair generalization.
Have you been to a strip club?
Well, it's not like I go all the time, but I mean, there's any number of normal, decent men at strip clubs.
They seem to be outnumbered by the gross, hairy, drooly ones.
Well, that's probably true, but decent women are outnumbered by shrieking, hideous harridans too. So I mean, it's. You say tomato, sister. All right, anyway, so this guy had emailed us, and he said, my wife of 23 years recently passed away before Thanksgiving. My question is, how long is respectable in a woman's mind before I start dating again, and is it weird if I ask out her friend? So we'll welcome the guy. This is, can we use your name here?
No, I'd prefer not to, Rick. We'll just go with Fat Truck Driver.
Yeah, that's how he identified himself in the email, Fat Truck Driver. You're in Portland. All right, so did we get the facts here pretty much correct?
Yes.
All right, so your wife died right before Thanksgiving, and so you haven't gone on a date since then, but you're kind of wanting to put your toe back into the dating pool.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. I have two beautiful daughters that are kind of pushing me that way. My family's kind of butting in as far as how far I should grieve, I guess.
Yeah.
If they would leave me alone, I guess it would be okay. And the girl that I would like to ask out actually gave me her phone number New Year's Eve.
Oh, dude, you're in.
She wants you to ask her out.
Dude, it's on.
I know, but I'm not looking for, sex is great, don't get me wrong, but I'm not looking for that. I'm looking more for companionship.
Does she know that you're recently widowed?
Yeah, she was my wife's best friend.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, she, and you know how women are, because women have these whole, we've talked about this before, but it's like, especially if you're doing, like, if you're doing something wrong, like in bed or something, you're doing something wrong in the lovemaking department, every other woman that your wife, your girlfriend hangs out with, they'll know it long before you do. Because women, I think women talk and they share all that information or something. So your best friend, so if she's asking you out, clearly your wife had glowing things to say about you. So
right. Wow. It just depends on who you talk to, though, because
so when she
a lot of friends, family, they give me crap about wanting to go out and date somebody.
They can pound it.
Well,
it's not their life.
Wait a second. Is it your wife's family that's giving you a hard time, or is it your family that's giving you a hard time?
It's my wife's sister and my mom.
It's none of their business.
Yeah, well, they can eat it. It's not their life. They're not the ones who's having to deal with it. So you don't have to tell them to pound it in those terms. But,
but you don't even have to tell them if you're dating her.
Yeah, how old are you?
Everybody knows. We all go out like once a month. We all meet for breakfast and we all talk and everything, and everybody knows.
How old are you?
I am 44 years old.
Yeah, 44. Yeah, they can. They tell them to go mind their own business. Tell them to go watch General Hospital. They get to meddle in other people's affairs.
At what point do you get to decide what your life is about anyway?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, my life at the time was my wife.
All right. Well,
I'm
about ready to go out with you.
Dude, you keep doing that. Therese will sleep with you. Let me ask you this. So your wife's best friend, she gave you her number on New Year's Eve. Now, what context did this happen? How did it go? In other words,
we were out partying, having a great time. New Year's Eve rolled around.
Yeah.
I left about 3:30 in the morning, and as I left, I kissed all the girls in the room, and she slipped her number in my hand.
See, she wants it.
That's definitely a sign that she would like to. She's interested.
Yeah, I mean, and she's known you for 18 years. So it's like so you presumably she's not just looking to bang you, but I mean,
No, and you don't have to go really fast. You don't have to do anything right away. What about a couple of nice dinners?
I'm just not sure I'm ready.
Yeah, no, that's totally what I'm. And see, and the other thing is this. The other thing is that if she is, and I'm not saying it's the case, but if she is looking just to have like sympathy sex with you, which may or may not be the case, but if it is, because she's your wife's best friend for 18 years, presumably knows you pretty well, you don't have to worry about her,
expectations.
Yeah, that's the thing. She knows who you are. She's not going to expect you to get married right away and whatnot, because that'd be weird on a whole lot of levels. So it seems like that's your best bet.
Okay.
And so if I were you, I would go out, sleep with whatever, the best friend, and then you can use her as sort of a stopgap, girlfriend, to elongate the time, between your wife's death and when you want to start the kind of dating other girls.
Ease you back into the world of dating and relationships.
Yeah, she's sort of she's sort of like dating helper.
Yeah, but I don't want to use her. What happens if I really do like her, and I use her all of a sudden, and then I may push that person farther away?
I don't know. It sounds like she's into you. So I mean, she'll let you know what the deal is.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So I would totally go out with her and see what happens. But you got to let us know. You got to let us know how it works.
And don't let your mom or your sister-in-law make you feel bad about anything. You lived 23 good years with your wife, and that is something to be proud of.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, you don't have to prove anything. Your family can piss off. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Rick, I wish you could tell him that.
Yeah, well, you have him call me. I'll tell him what for.
Thank you. I listen every day. Thank you so much for the help.
Excellent. Spread the word, brother. There you go. Thank you for listening. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, there you go. Yeah, your family can eat it,
I have a question.
Yeah.
How come men always give sex a title like makeup sex, sympathy sex?
Oh,
to women, it's just sex.
Well, because it's the same. Here's the thing. It's because men categorize. It's what we do. It's the same reason. How do you file your CDs at home?
They're just thrown around.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Mine are broken out by genre. Inside genre, they're alphabetical, and inside the alphabetization, they're chronological.
Wow.
All right? That's because men categorize things. We file things. We sort. We organize. We collate. We sift. We staple.
Is your sock drawers organized?
No, because those are just socks. I'm talking about CDs. And it's the same thing with women. Here's the reason that... I'm glad you asked me that. It's almost like this is too perfect. This is because it gives me a chance to unspool this whole long thing that women don't always know. And again, there are exceptions, and I'm making a broad generalization.
So this is what guys think.
This is, as a general rule, this is what guys think as opposed to how women think. The reason that one of the reasons there's so many complications between men and women is because women have one category, men have many categories. Here's what I mean. Men have women that they like a lot, but don't love. They have women they love, but don't want to sleep with. They have women they sleep with, but don't love. Men have women they sleep with and don't love or even like at all, but who they really like sleeping with. They have women that they don't...